Okay, morning everyone. This is Benny Boo again. I thought I would do another. This will be a recap actually of Old World Conference B, who I am the mod of. So here it is. I'm gonna have a look through the teams. They have all actually played their first week. So we've got some results to look at. And I'm also going to have a look at the teams. Now we have got a lot of players that are new to Trouble, and some of them I think are veterans of Blood Bowl, and some of them might be slightly newer. I have had the pleasure of playing a few of them. So let's have a look at the teams, then we'll have a look at where they are of the board and the match results. So the first team is 100 Feet Heroes. This is Sir Pugsley, who I have on good authority is a veteran halfling coach, and is a very active, possibly the founding member of Fling Nation, which is some sort of halfling fanatic cult. So here's his team roster. He has, I think each team has probably already played 2 games in the pre-season, so they're not entirely fresh. Let's have a look. So there we go, look, 3 games played. He has got a guard tree med, which is always good on a big guy. And then he is unlucky enough to have, he's got a leap halfling, and also his other leveled halfling, Sneaky Get, is injured, so he's going to miss next game. That would be his Fowler. You can see that he has gone for trying to get a really big bench, obviously because halflings, are fodder. He's also got 4 rerolls, which means that he could probably end up with 7 when he gets a Master Chef as well. So I think the trick with halflings is to make them as annoying as possible, and he seems well on course to do that with an extremely large bench. I think they won their first game, but we'll have to see. The next team is Rangers Ransackers. This is Crazy Balls. I played Sir Pugsley and Crazy Balls actually. I played Crazy Balls in a friendly. He is obviously a big Rangers fan. Which I don't mind because I like Steven Gerrard. He is going for the traditional orcs, and I think he actually beat me with orcs. So this guy is a very experienced coach. I think he's played tabletop a lot. You can see here straight out the gate he is going for Mighty Blow on his blitzers, not bothering with guard, and I guess that's because there's not that much bash in his league, so his strength 4 Black Orc should, carry him. So he has got leveled Lino. He's gone for block. I mean, I probably would have gone for Dirty Player just because I like fouling, which quite a lot of the coaches on Trouble do. But again, nice. He's got 2 Mighty Blows. Can never go wrong with Mighty Blow. Stats. 2 wins and a loss, so I think he probably won his first game. Not much more to say on that, except watch out for him. I think he could well be in the top couple for this division. HUD and the Nehek Exiles. So he has got some levels he's not taken yet. Ooh, he's got a missing next game 2 Tomb Guardians, one of which is AV bust, so that's not great. Whoever's up against him next is gonna have a pretty good shot of winning, but he will get some inducements. He's got a leveled Thrower, and he's not taking the 2nd level on him, so he's got dodge. It could be that he's not decided, or it may be that he rolled a double and he's waiting till the last moment so the other player can't kind of anticipate that. He's also missing a skeleton as well, so Yeah, tough start. 2 wins and a draw though. I mean, that's pretty good. I have not played Khemri before, but I would assume that they're a bit like Nurgle in that, you know, they're not great out of the gate. His Divius, sorry buddy, and the Hot Balls. Now I think I played this guy in possibly Rebels Spin and Win, and spoke to him about trouble there, but he can obviously quote me on that if whether or not that's true or not. High Elves. Well, let's actually have a look at his stats. So he's got 2 wins and losses. So look, we've got some really strong teams already winning their games. He has got an MV9 catcher, an MA9 catcher, which is absolutely amazing. He's going to be the man that everybody wants to kill, because that's, yes, you know, going to be a dedicated one-turner. He's also got a bull carrier here with his blodge, and he's also taking dodge on his thrower, so he is making, well, the players that have leveled hard to knock down. The fact that it's just linemen that are missing next game is not, you know, critical, I guess, because elves, it's all about bloating up your star players. So yeah, it seems to be doing fine. Only 2 rerolls, but you can probably get away with that with high elves. Boys with the beards, Drew Dirtleg. So unfortunately there is a dwarf team in the division. I personally think dwarfs are the anti-team, and I did not enjoy playing against them. So sorry about that, Drew. Just not keen on dwarfs or Amazons. He's got 2 draws and a loss, but you know, looking at his team, it's not like he's lost any players. He's got his apothecary, and he's got quite a lot of players that are close to leveling up. So it may be that he, I don't know if they can, but tries to attempt some vanity passes next game. The Rocks of Ages by Merlin, 13. So these guys are undead. He has only really leveled a dirty player on his zombie, but I would definitely take dirty player on a zombie. He's also only got 1 kill, which I think is fairly common. I know he's got 2 up there. So yeah, you can see he's building a bench early, which is something that I've seen on some of the undead teams I've been playing lately. Especially because ghouls are squishy, but nobody's got tackle yet, so he's probably going to be fine. Stats: 1 win and 1 draw, so he's played 1 less game than everybody else. But at this point, it's not really that much of a disadvantage. The Maelstronomas by Sineal, sorry. So Chaos Team, he has taken a Minotaur, which I don't often see on League Chaos teams, which is probably good because he's got missing next game on 2 Chaos Warriors, so you know, well, maybe he'll be up against the Khemri and they'll just both be bash short. No levels, 2 rerolls, so see how that goes. And finally, the Nightmare Family by Freak Nipples. So unfortunately there's another dwarf team in this league, so I do apologise to all the other coaches. I also apologise to the dwarf coaches for trash talking them as well. It's not you, it's just the dwarfs. Again, no levels, so I'm not going to talk about them much, but 1 win. So they have literally joined fresh, so they must be a late arrival. But again, not too much disadvantage. I mean, I'd rather be the one game dwarf than the maybe the Chaos or the Khemri going into the next game. Now, let's have a look at the matches played. So the Nightmare Family beat the Rangers Ransackers. There was a death, so I wonder who died. And a 2-1. So 2-1 from the Dwarfs is pretty impressive, to be honest. I'm not going to go into that much analysis because I don't really trust it. I feel like stats can tell you any story you want. You need to watch the game if you want to actually build a picture. But I would suggest, yeah, that the Orcs just couldn't remove enough dwarfs to get the numbers advantage because of that thick skull and block spam. Neheg Exiles and the 100 Feet Heroes. So the Neheg Exiles, the Khemri. Yeah. So a 1-0. That's a pretty good result for them. Obviously with the halflings, they are always, punching uphill, until they start to get, a lot of inducements, it probably will be a bit tougher for them. MVPs on both their injured players. The Hot Balls versus the Maelstronomas. So you've got Hot Balls winning 2-1. From what I've seen of High Elves, they like to win 2-1. They'll try and make it a scoring game as high as possible. Oh, is that a dead beast man? MVP. Yeah, he's gone. That's harsh. So it looks like the Hot Balls did a number on the Maelstronomas. That's tough. But they also had a death as well, so I think that's 3 deaths already. That's pretty good going. And finally, the Boys with Beards versus the Rock of Ages. So the Undead versus the Dwarves, 0-0. 10 arm breaks to 9 arm breaks. Again, it's hard to say what happened without watching the game, but 0-0. I expect that from the lovely dwarfs. Sorry, boys. Let's have a look at the leaderboard. So there's no point in actually making any predictions because I don't know the teams or the coaches well enough. This is probably worth looking at in a few games time, maybe halfway through the season. And schedule. Day 2, you've got the Hot Balls versus the Nightmare Family. So High Elves versus Undead. Undead have got a bench, so I imagine there'll be a lot of fouling going on there. Boys with Beards versus the Khemri. I think that's going to be a tough game for the Khemri with only 2 of their Tomb Guardians, but the Dwarfs don't have any guard yet, so there's still, any team could win that, or 0-0 draw. Rock of Ages versus the Ragers Ransackers. So the Rocks of Ages are the other dwarf team, so I feel sorry for Crazy Boars, who is facing 2 dwarf teams in a row with undeveloped orcs. Again, low scoring game, maybe 1-0 to whoever wins it. And finally, the Maelstronomas versus the 100 Feet Heroes. I'm going to go ahead and say that Sir Pugsley is going to win this. I think he is probably going to, again, use his numbers and the fact that, the Maelstronomas are down to 2 Chaos Warriors and a Minotaur as far as their strength. I think they're going to just foul the key players, and then the Maelstronomas will die of attrition. I do apologise. So I'm going to say either 1-0 or 2-1 to Sir Pugsley and his 100 Feet Heroes. So we'll check back on this in a couple of weeks' time when all the teams have played the next round and see how it's gone. Thanks a lot. I've been Benny Boo, your league admin, and look forward to seeing the results of the next few matches.